Hey, how you doing? This is Dr. Dave, Paragon Chiropractic. Welcome back to this week's video. Last week in the video, when you were listening to it, you probably heard that deet, deet, deet in the back. That was Dr. Diane making that noise. That's why she's not in this video right now. So, hooray. I'm just kidding. Well, I hope you've been enjoying these blogs, and we're kind of getting out of the ones with the blood sugar, although you should never forget about working on the blood sugar. Yeah, I mean, my goodness, 70% of the population of the United States is overweight or obese. Guess what? Every single one of those people is diabetic. I don't care what you say. So there's the phone should be ringing off the hook to try and handle this blood sugar. So yeah, let me know. We would love to help you. It's not a difficult thing to do. Unfortunately, you have to do it, and it requires discipline. So, good. So, here we go. You know, so often when a person listens to a video or reads a blog, but I should tell you, this week's installment is entitled, What's the Point of Pills? Right? And you keep this in mind, you know, they all have some kind of an effect. I'm not saying it's a good effect or a bad effect. They have an effect. You got to keep in mind, maybe the effect is a good thing that you want, maybe it's not. We'll see later on as we read on. So here we go. So what's the point of pills? You know, so often when a person listens to a video or reads a blog, they are burdened with another thing to worry about. They now have problems and worries about things that 10 minutes earlier they didn't even know existed. Think of that. You take your cell phone and they could put any sort of picture or anything else. You're walking along and all of a sudden your attention is pulled off of present time and it's put on something that may or may not even be real. That's pretty wild. Yeah. So, you know, when you're reading these things, if you remember the old Sanford and Son, you know, that was a thing when Fred would say, Elizabeth, honey, this is the big one, right? So when you read these, there it is. Every time I read one of the PubMed things or hear something, it's like, oh, that's it. I got the creeping death. And it won't be long now, right? So, yeah. Yeah, you like to try and avoid those things. Yeah, good. You know, if we at Paragon couldn't easily help you get over or prevent the stuff that I talk about in these videos, I wouldn't even mention it. One of our mantras or one of the rules of Paragon is just try real hard not to add or contribute to another person's burdens. Why would I sit here and make you aware of all these horrible things that may or may not happen that nobody can do anything about? You know, there you go. Why not live your life and enjoy yourself without worrying about all the things that could get you? Many years ago, the Stoics said, man isn't worried about real problems for the most part. He is worried about the imagined anxiety he has about real problems. Yeah. I don't know. Is it a problem? Isn't it a problem? Well, according to this is it. You know, I fit the criteria, so now I got another thing to worry about. Horrible way to go through life. You know, that's why I like, you know, it's like, well, I don't want a million things. Good. Handle your blood sugar. That blood sugar thing is kind of the gateway to everything that's going to be bad that you don't want. If you handle it, it kind of avoids those things. All right. And honestly, that's all we're trying to do at Paragon, is not contribute to your burden and just help you try and find the easiest way around the track. I once read that half the fun of any journey is getting there. And once you are there, you will have to work at staying there. Right? Good. What else would you do? Lay around and stare at the walls? Think about this. Would you rather have $1 million in the bank or live like you had $1 million in the bank? That's a good question. So you kind of get where we're going with all of this stuff, you know? It's like, I wouldn't worry about this. I wouldn't worry about that. Go live and pretend like you got everything that you think you need. Just pretend like you got it and go. What was the term they use? Fake it till you make it. I like that. Good. This is all the spirit of play and the joy of living. Would you rather, this is a good question too, would you rather take a pill that made you healthy and well and perhaps even immortal? Or would you rather live a lifestyle that made you healthy and well but left you mortal? Which would you rather have? Just take this pill and you'll live forever healthy and well, or change your lifestyle and be healthy and well, but you're mortal and eventually the Grim Reaper is going to come for you. If you just took a pill, what would you do for the rest of the 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 50 seconds each day? What game would you play? What would you be doing? What would you be working on? You wouldn't have to do anything, right? You're going to be healthy and well and live forever. Yawn. At any rate. So you're basically going to live a whole lot of life on the table. So, all right. Even if you did take that pill and it prolonged you immortally, you'd still have to figure out to live. You'd still have to figure out what you were going to do and what you want to do. Otherwise, you'd be bored. I mean, really. So keep that in mind, that longevity isn't necessarily life, I guess is what I'm saying. My grandfather made it to 97 years old, right? The worst part was that he wasn't able to walk around because of some crazy back surgery that he really didn't need, messed him up. He couldn't see because of diabetes, and he wasn't able to hear because of all the years in the steel mill. Each day he sat in a 10 by 12 foot room with a lady who had Alzheimer's and other types of dementia, trying to look out a window, trying to see a world he could no longer be a part of. And that's what he told me. 90-some years old, can't hear, can't see, and staring and sitting here with somebody that he couldn't communicate with, trying to look out of a window at a world he could no longer be a part of. And you say, wow, that sounds pretty bad. Everyone he knew was dead, and he was essentially alone in the world. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that medical science was able to keep him alive or close to being alive. He had this surgery, that surgery, a heart thing. He had medications, he had pills, and all sorts of stuff. So he could sit in a 10 by 12 foot room with a lady who had Alzheimer's and various types of dementia and not be able to see or hear anything. He couldn't even sit and watch TV because he couldn't see it and he couldn't hear it. But boy, they kept him going. Again, I ask, what's the point of a pill? I won't tell you all the medications and surgeries that he had. I mean, there was quite a bit, but each one left him significantly less than he was and made it more and more difficult for him to die. All his systems worked, except they didn't work. Wow. What would have been so bad about just letting grandfather live his life instead of trying to keep him alive at any cost? I don't know. I think when he turned about 92, that probably was when everything took the turn. It's just a thought. Something to think about. At any rate, so I guess the term is be careful what you wish for. You know, there's all these pills and drugs and all these surgeries and everything that you can do to try and extend your life, and you'll find out that perhaps maybe it'll make a body live longer, but it won't improve the quality or the length of your life. That is living, and that is something that only you can do. Now, you might be able to use these things to help you get more life, but for the most part, I don't know, at any rate. So if you think about it, please hit the like button, subscribe, tell others about this. It would be really cool to get some comments, and we can always help you with your blood sugar. We've started to do a few more things. We're working with people, and we're doing more proprioceptive exercises in the office. And proprioceptive exercises are, if I'm sitting here and my arm's up over my head, how do I know it's up over? Because the joints, it feels the joints in space. Proprioception and these joints feeling is what keeps a person from falling. Research is showing that somewhere between 27 and 30% of everybody who has a fall once they're over a certain age, in their 70s or so, within 6 months they're dead. So you really want to try and get this proprioceptive stuff working, and it's very easy. It's a lot of fun. You just challenge your balance. That's it. And you do it in a safe, controlled environment. You can do it at home and things like that. So between handling the blood sugar, proprioception, the adjustments, real live human beings that are here to listen and who actually care about you. We got babies. Abby's about ready to deliver her baby. I mean, this place is where you want to go if you want to get a little bit of life and living on you. So I invite you to come and check out Paragon Chiropractic. All right, until next week, we'll see you later.